Hey guys, and welcome to the Shrewsbury Biscuit podcast with me, Alex Whiteley. Really fun episode for you today, based on a reaction from an Instagram account. Like, you know, sometimes when you look at an Instagram account and you're like, oh my God, I need to speak to this person. Well, that's what this podcast is today. I'm speaking to Janire from A Ray of Sun Adventures, and I can't wait to share this with you. It's good. It's fun. Because, do you know what? There's so many episodes where I'm meeting a complete stranger who I've never met before. Everyone's a stranger until you meet them for the first time, right? But it's weird when you do it on a podcast. But this starts off as your typical kind of 5 minutes in, kind of, a bit. And then after 5 minutes, the flow's there, it's clicked, and yeah, it's nice. But before we get into the episode, I want to talk to you about things I'm doing across the street over at Biscuit behind the boom. Let me try that again, because when I started my mixer, I've been recording today in a gym, right? So I was using like 4 microphones, and after I've done something like that, I've completely reconfigured my mixer. So when it comes to re-recording again, I bring all my sliders down, including my sound effects. So we're going to try that again. I'm going to keep that bit in because I want to show you how organic these things are. So I want to talk to you guys about what's going on over the street at Biscuit behind the boom. There we go. This is starting off as to be quite a nice project, actually. I've come up with podcasts that I've thrown out there, and they've kind of done what they needed to do, and they disappeared into the woodwork. This has been received so well. Honestly, I'm so flabbergasted by how people have reacted to this show. If you've not listened to any episodes yet, that's fine, that's cool. I'll totally, asking you to listen to one podcast is great, but 2? I mean, come on. It's a different feel. It's a different vibe. I'm going to take my noisy bracelets off. They've been on my wrist. I've been doing my editing today. It's a different vibe. I'm looking at movies, TV, theatre and music from people all around the world. I've interviewed some really great guests. Like, for the first 4 guests I've had are Mick Strawn, who's a legend in the horror movie world. I've interviewed Maria Hippolyte, who is a badass stunt performer. We interviewed Samuel Perry Falvey, who's one of the greatest, he's one of the most spoken about cinematographers on the world right now. He did most of Ren's music videos, going absolutely viral right now. And then recently, Mr. Bloom, Ben Folks from CBeebies. It's just going great. It's just going so well. And there's so many cool things on the pipeline as well. So jump over to Biscuit Behind the Boom and give it a follow. Anyway, right, listen, guys. This is a great episode. That explosion just kind of died then. This is a great episode. It's real fun. It's very organic. It's one of those things that was like, it wasn't thrown together because I did my research and stuff, but it's just free flowing, So anyway, I'll leave you with that. I'll catch you guys at the end. And hope you enjoy this one. And catch you at the end. Yeah. So this episode is based purely on a social media account I saw, and I thought, I need to speak to this lady. Absolutely. on the basis of this Instagram. And I've looked a lot on the Instagram, but that's all I've done really, because the beauty of this podcast is this is me getting to know my guest as the listeners to do. So I'd like to introduce Janire from Rays of Sun Adventures.
Yeah. Hi.
To the Shrewsbury Biscuit. Hi.
Hey.
How are you?
I'm good, thank you. Thanks so much for having me on.
Social media is great, isn't it, for things like this? Because you'd be somebody that you've never met before and what have you, and all of a sudden our paths cross, and it was some algorithms put us together somehow. I want to tell people's story, and I think there's something really, really cool about people that've got the motivation and the energy to not just go up to the top of a mountain, but go, you're coming with me. And that's why I brought you on the show today. So Janire, let's start off by talking about sort of, where do you hail from? Where do you begin life? Where do you?
Hey, I grew up in London.
You're London girl?
London, yeah, South London. My dad's Scottish from Glasgow, and my mum's from the Basque Country, the north of Spain. So their worlds collided in London, and that's where I grew up till I was 16.
Wow.
So yeah, very different life to the Shrewsbury life that I now have.
Are you fluent in Spanish?
I am, yeah.
Yeah, so my wife, she's from Colombia.
Oh, cool.
And our son isn't bilingual, which I really, really wanted for him, but she felt nervous about speaking Spanish in public.
Oh.
So we were in a Colombian restaurant actually a couple of weeks ago in Liverpool, and she was with her cousin. They're both fluent Spanish, Colombian. You know, I was like, "Go on then, crack on, speak Spanish." And they were like, "No, I'm too nervous." I was like, "You are in a Colombian restaurant."
Yeah.
It's weird, isn't it?
It's a shame.
It is a shame, but I think there's still time. He's 10, and there's school to go, isn't there? So maybe.
Yeah.
So London. I mean, this is mad because I usually speak to people that go from Shropshire to London and they usually end up coming back.
Yeah.
But to go from the big city to the Shire, what's that like as a journey?
That was quite a shock to the system. So I moved up when I was 16. My mum's job relocated to BT in Whittington, Oswestry of all places. So we moved to Oswestry, which was a massive shock to the system.
That's all farms and stuff, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oswestry.
Well, yeah, like charity shops and
and
pubs more than anything. But yeah, I was just like, what am I supposed to do? Like, I was used to night buses and, you know, the tube, and all of a sudden buses stopped at 5 p.m. and there was nothing to do. So yeah, it was a massive shock to the system. And
what does someone with a busy mindset like that, when you come from the city, I've heard this so many times, how people that come from the city find the quiet really disturbing, right? It can be quite like a shock to the system, like you said.
Yeah, it was really eerie, actually. I remember in London, you don't really hear, like, obviously there's like ambulances and police cars going by all the time, and you're just so used to it, you don't hear it. But moving out to the countryside, God, the birds at my window really annoyed me when I was 16. I was like, shut up. It was really weird. But then obviously you get used to that, and now I absolutely love the sound of the birds. How
long did it take you to get used to that, though? Did it take you like a good year, or was it a couple of years? Because 16 is that sort of teenage era where you're going out and you do, you know, you've been a teenager, you know, you got to get used to things, make new friends.
Yeah, that was tough. People were very cliquey in Oswestry, so it took me quite a while to make friends and to feel like I settled in. But yeah, I was determined to get back to the city. I didn't want to stay in the Shire at the time. So I ended up in uni back in Birmingham.
Okay.
And then fast forward a few years, I had my son when I was about 21, 22 years old. And then I was like, no, do you know what? I'm happy in the Shire. It's a good place to raise a child.
So you're in Oswestry now? You're in Shrewsbury, or where are you?
I'm in Shrewsbury now.
In Shrewsbury.
Yeah.
It's a great place to be. I mean, I can't say I've moved around a lot. I started off in Telford, grew up in Wrexham, and then came to Shrewsbury because I just felt like it would be a nice place to go. And I feel like it's one of the best choices I ever made. I really do, because it is such a beautiful town. And Shropshire on the whole, we were just driving, like I said, we went to Liverpool the other day, and I was driving through Cheshire, and I was kind of like, we got it all in Shropshire, haven't we? Sorry, Cheshire, but...
It's such a beautiful town, isn't it? Like, there's so much going on.
Yeah.
You're never bored, but it's also really beautiful, really serene. You've got the Shropshire Hills just down the road. Like, it is a perfect location to get to cities and stuff like that as well. So, yeah, I love it.
Where does like your love for the hills and hill walking and nature come from? Is that a repression because of the city? You're kind of like, you're used to the concrete jungle, I guess. I don't know, how's that fall into place for you?
I don't know, I think I was quite outdoorsy, even, you know, as an inner city London child. I was always out in the park, you know, like kids do. And I was very lucky that I spent all my summer holidays in Spain, where my mum's from. So her family, my grandparents, aunts and uncles, live in a tiny little village in the mountains in Spain. And I would spend the 6 weeks there with my brother. And we would just play out, you know, it's really safe there. Like, we'd be out until, you know, gone midnight. My nan would be at the balcony calling us in. So I was very fortunate that I had quite an outdoorsy experience in Spain, even if I didn't really get that in London. But I think my journey really to becoming a mountain leader started through the pandemic and COVID, really, when I was at my most stressed and anxious.
There's like there's something about being told you can't do something that makes you want to do it even more, right?
Yeah, definitely. Everyone was breaking the rules.
But like before the pandemic, I wasn't going, do you know what I need every single day? Is an hour of exercise. But as soon as that happened, I was kind of like, you know what? I'm going out for a walk.
Yeah.
It's interesting, that is. It really is interesting. And anxiety is an interesting word to bring up there, because I feel like the rat race and the expectations of being a mother or a father or earning money, putting bread on the table, like it's sometimes you forget yourself. I've learned an awful lot, learning EMDR and learning about my PTSD and learning how to. I feel like I talk about it an awful lot, but I feel like the more I progress with this knowledge, because I only found out like a year ago that I had it, right? Okay. So, but I'm trying to learn with it. But like, I think it's kind of almost like a superpower, because I've learned to sort of slow down time. You know, and I think if you can learn to do that, and nature has been a huge part of that.
Yeah.
We did so much walking over the summer. Rodney's Pillar and Cardinal Valley is just an absolute gift for us in Shropshire, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
So did it help a lot with your anxiety then, being able to get out there? And
yeah, definitely. I think, like you said, it was one of the only things that we could do at the time. And luckily for me, it was the only thing that made me feel better. So yeah, I grabbed my son and our husky Ghost, and we went out and we did as many of the Shropshire Hills that we could. And yeah, it was like a brief kind of, moment in time where just everything felt better. And then you'd go back to real life and be like, oh, back to it now.
But there's a real satisfaction. Like we did Rodder's Pillar just before it closed, because it's I think you can still get up there, but you can't see the monument anymore. They kind of cordoned it off. And we did it, and we went up the hard way. With Rodney's Pillar, there's a bridle path on the left, and then there's the steep bit on the right.
Yeah.
It's like a stairway from hell. And me being the pudding that I am, I thought, no, do you know what? We're going to do it. And we did it. And I was so, I was like Rocky on the steps. Do you know what I mean? I was jumping around. I was like, oh my God, that's amazing. That's amazing.
Yeah.
It's a real sense of achievement from doing things like that, isn't there?
Yeah, there really is. I think doing hard things just makes you feel so good about it afterwards, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And I think you get that dopamine hit and then you want to do it again. It's addictive.
I get that from being in the studio, though. I'm like, oh my God, I've just made all of this stuff. Look at it. It's amazing. Sounds amazing. Looks amazing. People are going to love it. You know, I get that real euphoric moment. And that's my mountain that I like to climb.
Yeah. It's your creativity. That's
yeah.
Cool.
It can be a bit of, it's a blessing, but it can also be a curse. Because if I'm lying in bed, trying to sleep, and my brain goes, idea, I'm like, I'm not getting up and firing up my mixer right now. It's not happening. Yeah. How do you, is it, so like when you say you go to university, is this what you wanted to do in university? Was this the path that you thought you were going to go down?
No.
What was the original plan?
I did social work. I went to uni and did a degree in social work.
Oh, really?
I wanted to be a social worker. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
With children or?
Mainly children. Yeah. I did nearly 9 years, 8.5, 9 years with support work, with care leavers, a year with rough sleepers. And I'll tell you what I do after the podcast right now. But like, I don't want to. I'm sure I could probably tell you, but you know how much red tape there is about stuff. But yeah, I do still in support work. It's something about like, I don't know, giving someone that didn't have a voice, giving them a voice and giving them something to do. That's kind of like a lot of why I do the podcasty stuff as well. It's like it was like an urge to give someone something they didn't have before.
Yeah, it's a really special thing to do. I mean, any job like a social work has its positives and its negatives, and I think there's a lot of like you said, red tape, and people just have such different views of it. But you know, people go into jobs like that because they care and they want to make a difference, and that's what I went into. I think I've done that throughout my time, but I think there comes a time when, well, for me anyways, I kind of realised that it was impacting my health and my family life more than it should do. And that I was almost neglecting myself in the trying to help others.
I'm glad you brought that point up, because a year after working with the council, and I'm sorry, I'm not saying anything bad about the council, don't try and sue me, it's my opinion, right? But I had a rough time. I had a rough time working with them, because as much as I really enjoyed helping people, I was feeling those stresses that you're feeling, and I kind of like I ran out of the excess compassion and empathy that I had to be able to do the job, finding out about the PTSD and all that sort of stuff. And I felt like, why am I doing this when I'm struggling myself? So I decided to get a job at Muller for a year where I can clock in, clock out.
Yeah.
And that was just me resetting. I think you need that, don't you?
Yeah, definitely. And that's what I did. I went part-time as I was working towards my mountain leader qualification. And then since then, I've been building my business kind of alongside it. And it's, I feel like it's a nice balance at the minute. Like I still really enjoy the job that I'm doing, but I'm also really excited about building my business and going outdoors and doing my hobby as a job. There's something really rewarding about that.
I was chatting to Mr. Bloom on Biscuit Behind the Boom earlier, and we were talking about how I said to him, when the days when you don't feel like being Mr. If you don't know who Mr. Bloom is, then it's from CBeebies 3 years ago with the Mr. Bloom's Nursery, blah, blah, blah. Give him a Google. And I was saying, like, you do a lot of work with kids and you got to be this character. What does it feel like when you have those days when you don't feel like doing it anymore? He goes, but I do a job that I love. I do a job that I chose for me, a character that I wrote for myself. And I thought that was really, really cool. And I feel like it's a real blessing to have something like that, isn't it? I mean, it seems like what you've picked for yourself. There's the job that you kind of went down the normal route that people go to, education, to get the job that you're supposed to earn money, to then the job you feel like you're destined to do.
Yeah, absolutely.
And there's a real passion behind that, isn't there?
Yeah. So much excitement, like a day, even, there's times I've done like sunset hikes, say, after a day at the day job. And I've just kind of felt really tired and down and not motivated to do it. But the minute I'm there and the minute I see the people and I start walking, it just feels like I'm a different person. I'm just so happy. And like even on the worst possible day out in the hills, the rain's in your face and it's windy. It just feels so much nicer than staring at a screen all day.
It really does. Nature helps me so. Big shout out to June Meager, who's amazing. When we talk about well-being, she introduced me to the idea of grounding. Like go out and crunch your toes in the grass and stuff if you're feeling stressed, or you can do it every day. And I thought it was absolute poppycock. I was like, there's no way a patch of grass is going to make me feel better, but it does. It really does. Like I feel like nature is it's got its own like superpower. Like I feel like on the most stressful of days, you can stand in the trees, listen to the wind blowing through, and just be like, reset.
Yeah, definitely. It's so healing. Even, people laugh about tree hugging, don't they? But I've led walks and I've been like, in the most beautiful forest, I've been like, anyone want to hug a tree? And then we've all ended up hugging a tree. And honestly, there's something like so, you think they're going to be cold, but they're warm to touch. And the minute you're touching it, it just feels like, I don't know, like you said, that grounding, like it just takes away that fizzy energy and that anxiety and stress from you, and you just feel at one with the tree. It sounds so strange, but I recommend tree hugging. Hug a tree once in a while.
I would do too. We've just been doing, we did a trip to Denmark. We've been to London recently for the podcast awards. We did Liverpool. We've done some city stuff a lot over the last month, actually. And people are just so busy. On the tube, up and down the escalators, in and out of offices, doing all this. And I'm thinking, how often do these guys get to hug a tree? Do you know what I mean?
I think just the thought of it probably puts most people off. But yeah, it's true. Yeah. There's so much research, isn't there? I saw some research recently that said just 2 hours out in nature can improve your happiness. And it was saying, particularly for women, 2 hours out, more than 2 hours out in nature a week helps improve women's body image.
Oh wow!
And I thought that's huge. And then you add into that all the the physical benefits of walking and the mental health benefits of walking and just how good it feels for the soul. Like, why would you not?
Yeah, I remember we did Carden Mill Valley, and I love that place anyway. It's great. I mean, my son, I'm only here because you brought me. He fell over and scratched his knee, and he's still got the scar today. He's like, that's because of you, that is. But like when you get to that top where it sort of, where it plateaus at the top, and then you see the wild horses running around, and then the winds, and you like, and then you see the sun, like, and there's just something really nice about that. Not only have you just achieved what seemed at the bottom as impossible, you've got all this view to see as well, you know.
The Long Mend has to be my favourite Shropshire Hill, just because,
Really?
I mean, it is beautiful anyways, but the ponies, they are so magical and so special, aren't they? We did a sunset hike up there not long ago, and we had a lady in the group who's a professional storyteller.
Nice.
And we were like, oh God, you're gonna have to tell us a story now. So as the sun was setting, she told us this beautiful story, and all the ponies came and surrounded us. It was like they were there for the vibe and the story too. It just felt so magical. Yeah, it was a really special moment.
I remember we did. I was in the cadets right up until they told me to leave when I was a kid. It was just I say it's my anger management. That's what I used to say, but it kind of taught me a lot in life, and I decided not to go in the army afterwards because it annoyed my parents. I'm like, what? Anyway, I remember we did the pipeline across the Cambion Hills. It was amazing. And one day we were walking along, and this wild horse jumped over a hedge.
Wow.
And was in front of us and not moving, and we were like, okay then. Moments like that stick in your mind, don't they? Because you don't see that walking, doing the school run.
No, definitely not. What did you do?
Yeah.
What did you do? What happened?
I can't remember. What did we do? I think we waited because the guys were just going to run past. I was like, you're an idiot. It can run at like 50 mile an hour. You're going to run from it. I think we just waited. I think it stared us down.
Yeah.
And then just walked right. There's like a fork in the road. It walked right, and we just kind of nipped behind it.
Yeah.
But those were special times growing up. It's the hill that runs alongside Snowdon, not Snowdon. There's the one next to it, and I can't remember its name because I was like 15 at the time. And we were walking up this hill for what felt like 4 days. It wasn't. It was a couple of hours, but like we were like crawling up this hill. Magical times, you know.
Is that the rocky one, the Glider Eye?
I can't remember which one it was. I was 15, but the Cambions you can get lost in, can't you?
Yeah.
You know?
Oh God. Anyway, I mean, even on the Long Mend, it's so big. I got lost there before I learned how to map read. Came down the wrong side. I was like, oh no, go back.
The pipeline adventure that we did is part of our Silver Duke of Edinburgh. I think it was a 45-mile trek. I think it was. I failed my first time because we got lost, and they said to us like, you step foot on the minibus, you fail, right? So we get lost. We got lost. We kind of found that the sea in the mountains. We got so high you could see. I think it was is it Colwyn Bay or Conway? There was a view of the sea, and I was like, I don't know if we're in the right place, guys. And apparently we were like only a few yards away from the place where we were supposed to go.
Oh God.
But did you do a lot of that when you were younger? Are the moments like that you remember when you were younger, going on adventures with your friends and your family and stuff?
Yeah, so I did my Duke of Edinburgh too. We did the bronze. And at the time, I think I was probably about 15. So yeah, like inner city London kids taken out to the countryside, given a backpack and told to go off.
Oh my God, that's a sheep. What's a sheep?
You know what? I did not know until then that sheep had tails. You always see in pictures.
The clouds.
The little round fluffy thing. I was like, that sheep is wagging its tail like a dog. It was embarrassing now. But yeah, we had a similar encounter like you did with the horse with cows.
They're so curious.
Yeah. Wow. And scary.
Yeah.
At the time, well, these were. We had to walk through, we were going through a field and we had to walk through a gate that was open. And as we were walking towards it, a cow came into the middle of it. And we just stopped and looked at it. We were like, oh, okay. And then the whole herd came and they blocked the whole gate. So we just stood there. We were like, what are we supposed to do? Didn't have a clue. One of them came forward, like the bulls in a bull ring. They start doing that with their foot.
Oh, no.
Ready to charge. And then it charged. The whole herd of cows started charging behind us. And us being young and ignorant, we turned and we ran for our lives, which, yeah, do not do. If cows come running at you, do not run.
They're quick and they're heavy.
Yeah. That is not what you're supposed to do. But we did. We ran for our lives. And luckily, the farmer heard the commotion and came out and saved our lives. I don't know what he did, like blew a whistle or I don't know what he did, but they stopped and he saved our lives. But yeah, that was...
I love cows. They forget how heavy they are and how dangerous. I remember we found a secret little place to go for a picnic in Condover. It's like there's like a woodland park. I'm used to sort of remembering these locations. But there's this nice little park in Condover, and if you go through a stile or over a stile, there's a little meandering river, a field with cows, and a place where you can sit and have a picnic. And I think, if I remember rightly, I went to post something, and somebody from Condover said, "Don't post it because every Tom, Dick, and Harry will be there." It was like shortly after COVID, you know what I mean? When everybody was like, and there were these cows. And the hill goes up to the farmhouse, and they saw us. They mustn't see people there very often, and they all come running down, and they sort of surrounded our exit.
Yeah.
And we were like, "Oh, right, well, so we live here now." Until the farmer must have whistled them back or something, and then they all went running back up the hill. They're great. Nature's awesome.
Yeah. I mean, we're quite lucky in the UK that cows are probably our biggest predator, I guess, out in the, some place, like you go to Canada and that, we don't have bears and wolves and stuff like that. So we're quite lucky, really.
We're lucky. We saw something really cool once. I mean, we'll get onto wildlife for you in a sec because I want to see what you've been up to. But with that, we saw a mink once. Have you ever seen a mink in the wild? A mink is
Did you see that?
It's like a wild ferret. Well, wild ferret, yeah, it's a wild ferret. We were in the Rebrook, just by here.
Oh.
And there's a little beach there all the kids go to, and you can let the kids walk into. It's a quite popular spot. And we were sat there. My friend was with his little girl too. They were playing in the river. And we saw a rat fall from the little cliff that's by the thing and start swimming away. And we were like, random. And then we saw this mink coming after it. Wha-bam! And let's just say that the mink got its dinner. Honestly, it was so quick and so powerful. It just picked up this rat, give it a quick shake, took it with it.
Wow.
We were like, wow. Okay, you don't see that every day.
No, for sure.
have you seen your fair share of wildlife out there while you're doing your things? Seen anything?
Never seen a mink. No, not really. I think the most exciting is probably the cows.
The cows and the horses.
Yeah. Ticks, they're a bit of a horrible...
I've never had a tick before.
Yeah, I've not myself, touch wood, but I've seen someone infested in them and, had to pull them out. Oh. That wasn't nice. You can get Lyme's disease from it, so it's quite serious.
Like Ren, my favourite musician, he got Lyme disease. It's bad, yeah. When you go from somewhere like, obviously, Shropshire's very well endowed with hills. We were so lucky with that. Where do you look to better that place? Where do you go to from there, I guess?
Oh, so for me, once I'd done all the Shropshire Hills and I needed that bigger adventure and a bit more of a challenge, I went and did Snowdon or Irwyddfa, if you're saying it in Welsh. Say like people. Yeah,
you're not allowed to call it Snowdon now, apparently.
Yeah. Well, if you can say it in Welsh, say it in Welsh. And it's quite hard to say though. So yeah, that was my first proper mountain. I did that in September 2020, and that I was really lucky because Snowdon, the weather's not always the best there.
And there's like, if you take the wrong path, you've taken the wrong path, right? You've got to be very careful, right?
Yeah. But we had like a blue sky, sunshine day, and it was really tough. Like, had to stop, wasn't fit enough for it really at the time, but managed to get to the top, and it was amazing, that sense of achievement. And
when you become a mountain leader, the training that you have to do you have to learn a lot about what to do when it goes wrong, weather-wise and stuff? How grueling was that for you?
Oh, the mountain leader journey was a bit of a trauma, I think. I'm so happy that I did it. And it's been an incredible journey and experience, but my God, it's been tough. So you've got to have a minimum of 20 mountain days before you go for your training. Then you do a 5-day training course, and then you need a minimum of 20 more mountain days before you go for your 5-day assessment. So the training and the assessment cover everything from planning a route, risk assessing, what you'd look out for in terms of risks, to navigation. It's quite heavy on navigation, so you need to know how to find a tiny little contour on a map in like zero visibility or in the dark. So I spent a lot of time on my own out in the hills in the worst possible weather, questioning my life choices. But definitely worth it. I'm so happy I did it.
That's interesting. I remember, I keep going back to my own memories. I'm sorry, but it's not how I can relate. When I was in the cadets, the most extreme, because I was there right for the whole thing. we got put on what was called the Somme Senior Challenge, and it was only for the most battle hardened.
I love that.
And what they did was they took us on minibuses. They gave us like a list of what to take, and then they pulled the minibuses over. They dragged us out.
Yeah.
In the pitch black with torches in our face. They're ripping all of our stuff off us, and one lad had wore jeans, and I always remember this conversation because he wore jeans and he was like, "You got jeans on, have you? You know what's going to happen because you wore jeans?" He's always, "You're gonna die, because you're gonna get hypothermia and you're gonna die. Your body will think that denim is your skin and it'll try and warm it up and you're gonna die." And I was like, oh my god, like it was proper serious stuff. They took half of our stuff off us, and so we had to buddy up with people and share. It was good because it taught us how to not overpack and how to not overuse things. One ration pack between two people. Wow. And then one of us would have a ground sheet, one of us would have a top sheet. So we used, the bivvies and stuff.
Yeah.
So you'd have to partner up and work together. It was really good, actually. I really enjoyed that. But I just remember you don't think of things as jeans as being something dangerous.
Yeah.
But it kind of makes sense, doesn't it? That he thinks that that's his skin, your skin, and he tries to warm it up if it's wet and cold.
Yeah, yeah.
So you get colder. Yeah.
It takes a long time to dry as well, if at all.
Yeah.
So.
Moral of the story: don't wear jeans up on Cardinal Valley.
Or flip flops up Snowdon.
Or you're gonna die. You're not gonna die, but I'm saying it's just other things, oversights that you may have seen before you started doing your mountain training that you kind of realised that, wow, I can't believe I've been doing that all this time.
I think a big one for me was navigate. Like, I didn't know how to navigate. Well, you learn, don't you, doing your Duke of Edinburgh? But I'd not really looked at a map since doing my Duke of Edinburgh. So I'd been out doing all the Shropshire Hills. I planned everything, used like online maps, Komoot or Ordnance Survey. But then, what happens if you lose your phone or it dies? And then how do you get back? So, yeah, now I know how to navigate to, quite a high level. I would never leave the house without a map.
That happened to me on Rodney's Pillar. There's a fork in the road as you get towards the top, and my phone, there's no signal. There's no signal on Rodney's Pillar. So I was like, oh my god, I haven't got a map with me. And I saw this plucky young couple. They were in their 70s with an iPad in a Teflon case. They were prepared.
Yeah.
And I was like, which way is the top? And because like one path went to a gate, and then the other one went, and they were like, it's just up there to the right, and then you go. I'm sure many people have done that before, but that was one of those moments for me where I was like, oh my god, like if it wasn't for this phone, then and I have two kids with me as well. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You can get yourself in a precarious situation, can't you? Most apps though, you can download. Well, I think you need a subscription, but you can download it offline. So even if you don't have network, it should still work. I've not been let down so far by Komoot or OS.
I've been using City Mapper a lot on my phone.
I've not heard of that one.
City Mapper is obviously for your cities and stuff, but it's got like your underground routes, it's got your bus routes, it's got everything on there, and you can basically, when you go onto it, it kind of downloads the map onto your phone, so you can and look around on it. It's really really handy. We do a lot of EDT business city trips and stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah, we do. We're good. I nearly said something then I realised I couldn't. I'll tell you that in a second. Weird. Because of work, sometimes I hear stories in my head and I go to tell them, I realise I can't say that because it happened in work. I'll get myself into trouble. Is there anybody that's inspired you as far as adventuring is concerned? Is there a movie or is there a person that you've seen on social media that's doing something that you thought, I want a piece of that?
I think there's lots of people that you kind of see on telly, like Ben Fogle's pretty incredible and inspiring. I think for me, I didn't know too much about the outdoors world when I got into it, and I didn't particularly see very many women kind of in those leadership roles. So it was something that I thought, I can do, and I could maybe be that person for other people, like to let women know that it's something that you can do and that's achievable, and kind of improve that representation. But as I've qualified, I now know loads of women leaders, and I think that's definitely improving in the outdoor world. But yeah, oh God, I can't think of anyone off the top of my head.
It's really nice to see that you're not doing this to make some money. I mean, of course you need to live, right? You want to some money. you're doing this because of your own issues with anxiety and wanting to get out there and sharing that with other people and trying to inspire. And that's always really nice to see. I mean, I don't know if you know Kelda Wood. She's fantastic. She got a charity called Climbing Out, and they give children opportunities where they can go out mountain climbing, rock climbing, kayaking. She's an absolute hero. I absolutely recommend you follow her on Instagram. She's on BBC Radio, Shropshire now, I think. She's absolutely amazing. I want to get her back on the show actually now. I've mentioned her name. She's another pioneer when it comes to like. She rode across. Was she rode across the Atlantic? She rode across the Atlantic. I think she did. Amazing woman, you know. So it's good to see that you've got that in you.
There's a film out. I think it's just been released called The Bride of Mont Blanc, and it's about. I think it focuses. I can't remember the actual woman's name, but the first woman to summit Mont Blanc, and she did it in like full dress and a bonnet hat.
I love that.
Honestly, it's incredible. But I think I've not seen the film yet, but it focuses on like women adventurers and how they've kind of been forgotten in history. So that will be really cool because hopefully I'll get lots more. Yeah,
I love a good up yours to societal norms, especially that the woman that did the first marathon, that woman, first woman, and the men are trying to grab her to stop.
Yeah.
Oh, I need to find her name because she was incredible. And like she's got this image of going, "You can't run, you're a lady," and she's like, "Well, yes, I can." First female marathon runner. What was her name? Catherine Switzer. There you go, in 1967. That's incredible. I love that.
Yeah.
Right, we've got to talk about building a business now because it's not easy, is it, to set up a business? You said you were working a part-time job whilst you were doing this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
First steps into this, how was that for you?
Strange, because I never really went into it thinking, I'm going to do this as a business. Like, that was never really my intention. I found myself qualified. I was leading kind of a little bit on the side. I'd set up my website, Ray of Sun Adventures, just to kind of blog. I kind of enjoyed blogging. And then I was like, oh, actually, I can do some group stuff. And I think I started it more mainly just to meet people and make friends myself. And yeah, it's just grown so quickly. So I led my very first walk was winter solstice last year, so the 21st of December. And in, less than a year, it's grown so huge. I've got wonderful customers that have become really close friends. Like, I've made my best friends here. I've now got a group of friends in, I've always had acquaintances and stuff locally, but being a mum and working, I've never really had time to socialise and get out. And now all of a sudden I've got friends that I can go out with. So I've made friends. I know people in the community have made friends and do stuff outside of, the walks that I lead. So it's just, I love that it's built into a community. It feels more, it is a business, but it feels like a real positive, empowering community.
That's really nice to hear. Has it ever overwhelmed you a little bit? Has it ever got too much?
Not yet. I feel like I'm probably at the tipping point of what I can do while I work still.
Yeah.
Just because, work, motherhood, all of that. Something has to give at some point.
Just turn my phone down on my mixer because I know what's going to happen. I'm going to go onto Instagram. I'm going to get. I'm going to go onto your Instagram now because obviously the basis of what you offer is, a paid sort of. You're an instructor that takes someone up a mountain. You know the routes. You know how to keep people safe, and I feel that can be really handy because when people think of Snowdon and they think about they see the rocky paths that you see on social media. They're like, what if you've got someone there that knows what they're doing?
Yeah.
And that's what you do, right?
Yeah. I think a lot of people come on the walk. I've had some messages recently from people saying, why do I need to pay you to come for a walk? Walking's free. And like, yeah, absolutely. Like, you can go off and do it yourself. That's fine. What I offer is exactly what you said. I'm qualified. I'm first aid trained. I know how to keep people safe. I've risk assessed it. I know how to look after a group. And it's more the buy-in into the community. So most of the people that come because they don't know how to map read and they would get lost otherwise, and they're too scared to go off on their own. Do
you teach people while they're doing it how to read a map and stuff?
Yes, that's a plan for next year. I'm going to do some navigation courses, definitely, because I think it's really sad that people, that stops people getting out there. I don't want people to be reliant on me to take them out.
It's mad what we're starting to lose track of. The analog clock apparently is on its way out. Kids are looking at their phones now and they don't know how to read an analog clock.
Yeah.
Maps, There was a picture the other day of people like literally leaning over giant tables with giant reams of paper, drawing maps. And I'm thinking, my God, yeah, how were maps drawn before? And it would have been that.
Yeah.
Now we've got GPS, which I use way too much.
Oh, yeah.
My job is, it requires me from going from one side of the county to the other, literally. It's like sometimes I'm driving all day, and now I'm starting to not lose my sat nav, use my sat nav, because I know I'm getting to know Shropshire very, very, very well, very quickly. It's nice to be able to go. I know where I'm going, and that's that confidence of this is the way, right?
Yeah, definitely. With the map in the backpack, just in case.
Other adventures that you want to go on yourself that you couldn't necessarily do with the business because maybe they're a bit too difficult, or maybe because you don't know the way yet?
Oh, God, yeah. I've got so much planned for next year with the business. But personally, I really want to do the Corsica, the GR20. It's a through hike that goes across the island, and it's possibly one of the hardest long distance hikes.
Okay.
It's like proper rugged, rocky terrain, and you wild camp it, essentially. So I like a bit of a challenge. So that's my next challenge, hopefully.
We went camping once last year. We used to go camping quite a lot. We went to a place in Church Street, and it was one of those. I know it's only 20 minutes down the road, but I was like, me and you, kid, let's go.
Yeah.
Just one night out camping. I love stuff like that.
Yeah.
And we found this place where it's a fishery place where you can go fishing and camping. Perfect. So we got the wildfire going, got the town top, all the stuff you like to do with your kid and that. I was like, I'll do roast potatoes, chucked them in the fire. They came out like charcoal.
Oh, no.
I had a contingency though. That was cool. And we ended up leaving at 5 o'clock in the morning because of warring geese on the lakes. Have you ever tried to sleep through warring geese?
No.
Never again. I was shouting at those geese and I was packing my car up at 5 o'clock in the morning. But I love the idea. This is the main reason why I brought you on the podcast, because I think there's an opportunity here, a massive opportunity that I feel like the Shrewsbury Biscuit could take advantage of with collaborating with someone like yourself. Mm-hmm. Why can't we take a studio to the top of a mountain?
Yeah.
Sit around a fire after we've just walked it and talk about our experience.
That sounds well cool.
And I feel like this is something that we need to start doing with the Shrewsbury Biscuit, is getting those I've got the H6 over there, which is a portable microphone, so we could do bits while we're up the hill.
Yeah, out of breath.
And then I can set this up with battery power while the fire's crackling or whatever.
You can film it too. And
we could film it.
A bit of a video too.
I'm thinking of setting up some sort of like a fundraiser for a camera for the biscuit soon. Listeners, because I feel like that's the only thing I'm missing. We got Shropshire Business Suite, which we can go and film and record. Stu's like, I want cameras, Alex help, and I'm like, okay. So there are places we can go to record. There's also Highly Flammable in town with Aaron Childs, great places to go. But I want my own camera where I can take places, because I feel like my Instagram is so good for an audio only podcast, because I'm here, there, and I'm everywhere. Yeah. I had this idea of going to let's see what every single town's doing for Christmas this year. Go to like the Christmas markets, but then I said to my wife, but if I go and do them on the day that they happen, then they've already happened. Do you know?
Yeah.
There's no point in advertising them because they've already happened. Do you know what I mean? But yeah,
if you can do it while you're there, yeah.
You are spoiled when you're up on a mountain, though, for content. Do you find yourself constantly with your phone?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, my phone's always full. I've got to delete photos before each event because there's no more space. Yeah, definitely.
I feel like we're living in an Instagram era, and there's lots of influencers up on hills at the moment. Obviously, you're not an influencer. You've got a job to do. Are you seeing a lot of that when you go out? Are you seeing a lot of people with the selfie sticks?
Yeah, but you know what? I think it's cool. Like, why not get cool photos out in the... I mean, they are cool photos, and up on a mountain with the view. Of course. Like, who wouldn't take a picture? So yeah, I get lots of people on my walks as well. I love to take photos, and you need the content to build your business and to grow it, don't you? So yeah, I'm always out with my phone. I'm
a huge advocate for like promoting nature. I really am. I always mention Niall McCann, but I've spoken to other adventurers from around the world. Niall McCann is a Shropshire-born National Geographic explorer, nice guy. I'd love to get him back on the show. And we were talking about this like sort of lack of empathy and compassion that the young people seem to be showing at the moment with nature. Lots of plastic lawns, lots of McDonald's bags in bushes, and vapes thrown everywhere and stuff. I remember during the pandemic, the kids were kind of trashing the park in the quarry in Shrewsbury, just leaving beer boxes and bottles everywhere. And I remember all that happening, and we were all going, "What's wrong with these kids?" Like they did when we were kids. You know what I mean? But apparently there is a real disconnect with young people and nature at the moment. We don't, and these influencers that are up on hills, I say these influencers, I was doing it not long ago, so I was one of them. It's important to show people that this nature exists, right?
Yeah, definitely. I think especially for inner city kids who, you know, we're quite lucky in Shrewsbury. It's quite a green town, isn't it? We've got lots of green space, and we've got the hills nearby. But if you're inner city Birmingham, London, Liverpool, like, you might not see the hills ever if your parents don't take you out. Yeah. So to see it on your screen and think, wow, that's a possibility. My son watched so he likes going out. So him and his friends take themselves to Carden Mill in the summer. They go swim in the reservoir, go up the hill, love it. He doesn't want to do it with me so much, but with his friends, that's cool.
That's how kids be.
But he saw this influencer who climbed the Matterhorn, and all of a sudden he was like, "Mum, I want to do the Matterhorn." I'm like, "Oh, really?" Well, that means you're going to have to do Ben Nevis as a starter, and then we'll work towards some other mountains. You know, you need to build up to the Matterhorn. So I'll do it with you, but come and do some other mountains too. So yeah, like just seeing one video really inspired him, and I think that's wonderful. So
there you go. That's proof in the pudding that influencers are doing that thing, and that's really good to see. Is there anywhere? Is there a mountain somewhere you'd like to climb? I mean, everybody goes Everest, but I guess Everest is like. But is there a mountain out there that you'd love to go and climb?
Oh, so many. And I think the more I learn about mountains and the outdoor world, the more, you know, it's like the bucket list. It's just ever growing. I mean, I would say Everest, but I think there's so much to do on the journey to ever get to Everest. So like next year, I'm hoping to do Toubkal. The year after, I want to do Killy. I really want to do Mont Blanc. So this year, 2026, we're doing the Tour de Mont Blanc, so walking around it, but I really want to get up on top of it.
I think I'd be all right when there's trees and forest. It's when there's snow and rocks. I think that's when it gets tricky, right?
Yeah, you need special training to go up on snow and rock. You need to use ice axe and crampons and all those kind of technical skills.
Have you done all that yet, or you got that to train to do yet?
Yeah, I've got training coming up in January for that. But yeah, I've been up in snow, so up until now I've used micro spikes, which work as well, but obviously crampons and an ice axe are for more mountainous terrain.
Youngest kid to climb Everest. There's a guy I spoke to years ago, and I've forgotten his name. Beg your pardon. To climb Everest. This kid was like 13. What was his name? Was it Jordan Romero? Yeah, I think it's Jordan Romero. He came on our podcast when we did You Suck. With Tom Romero. And he used to go climbing. He was 13 years old when he reached the Mount Everest.
That's insane.
And people raising their eyebrows like, "What are you doing taking your kid up Everest?" And he was like, "It was the best fucking slip of the tongue, best experience of his life." And it's incredible to see that person had that experience and that ability. His parents were just like, "Let's go up Mount Everest, let's do all this training and stuff." Like, that's really, really privileged. I feel like I was lucky when I was younger. We spent a lot of time, most of my summer holidays were spent in Ireland. That my family's over there, and I'd wake up on a sheep farm. The nearest house was like a mile and a half away.
Yeah.
I mean, at the time, I was kind of like, it smells like crap. To earn pocket money, we're chasing sheep. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. But now I'd go back there in a second.
Yeah.
Because there's something nice about just being in the middle of nowhere. You know?
I don't think you really appreciate it when you're younger, do you?
No.
But as you grow up, you're like, get out now.
Yeah. Somebody told, we were at the Wellbeing Festival a few weeks ago at the football ground, and I was talking to them about... talking to someone about my son with Rodney's pillow, and I was like, I don't know, actually. Timmy was dragging his feet. He's 10 years old. He's dragging his feet. I'm like, come on, we've got to get to the top. He's like, we've only just started. It's going to take ages. Like, it's not around the corner because there's another corner around the other corner. He's doing all this. I was like, I'll tell you what I want you to do. I want you to be our scout. You go ahead, and I want you to tell me when the other corner is coming. I want you to tell us, be aware of dangers. Yeah. Oh my God, he turned into Bear Grylls.
Yeah.
I love that.
They need a role, don't they?
Yeah. And like that was it then. He was on fire. It's just a bit of motivation sometimes, and that's really important, isn't it? Have you ever had situations where you're struggling to motivate yourself and you've got a group with you that you got to try and push along and get on?
Not really. I don't think I really struggle for motivation out in the hills. People, I've worked with people that have really struggled, especially when I was training to become a mountain leader. If I was ever shadowing another mountain leader, I'd always get put at the back to support the people that were struggling the most.
I'm going to take photos if that's okay.
Oh, yeah, that's fine.
I always have to tell people because then when I point the camera, they're like, what are you doing? What are you doing?
I'll do my hair.
How do you motivate someone that has lost the will to live because they've just walked up a 45-degree incline for the last hour and a half?
It's hard, isn't it? Because I can't think now because the camera's in my face.
Yeah, I'm sorry. It's one of those things I'm sure.
Just do it slyly, yeah. Mm-hmm. For me, what works for me is food. So thinking about the food when I get to the end. So that's what I use with people. I'm like, what do you want when we get to the pub? And they're like, a burger. I'm like, just imagine that big juicy burger. And also, like, I think they realise that they can't just give up because, unless you're going to call Mountain Rescue to come out and get you, like, you just have to continue. It's just one step after another. Just keep going. Don't give up. We'll take it as slow as you need. We'll stop as many times as you need to, but you can't give up. And it's just keeping it light and trying to make a joke of it. And, I
think the motivation of there's nowhere else to go.
That should be enough.
You can't get an Uber. You're on a mountain. When Timmy fell over and cracked his knee, I used my water to clear it. I didn't have a first aid kit with me or anything, so I just did that. And I was like, look, kid, we're at the top. The only way is down. We got this. It's easy. And then we were around the corner, and we were like at the top of the waterfall, and you got to climb down the rock. So I was like, not quite so easy. I don't know if there's a softer way down than that, but we climbed down the rocks, and wow, that was an experience. But it's really, really nice to have those experiences when we're younger with your and as a parent with your kids as well.
Yeah, that's what creates memories, isn't it?
Yeah.
I think that's what people underestimate about the mountains, though. It is, and I found this. So back before I started training, I did the Yorkshire Three Peaks. And I remember the whole way around, like I got to the top of the third hill, and I was like, yes, I did it. Ecstatic. Everything up until that point had been amazing, but for me, like, that's where it ended, and I hadn't factored in the 2 hours back into town. Those 2 hours back into town were the longest 2 hours of my life, and the pain in the knees and the whole body. And the pub at the end definitely got me through that one. But people forget that, once you got to the top, that's not, that's the summit, but that's only the halfway point. You've got to get back down. And sometimes that's harder, especially on the legs. Yeah. You're
right, but you get the satisfaction. That with Rodney's Pillar, I definitely felt that because it was it's not so steep at Rodney's Pillar. It's just that it never stops. It's always going. And then the bridle path, I think, on the softer way down sort of helped. I was going to go somewhere with this and I completely forgot. I was going to give Trademark Blood a shout out. Trademark Blood is a rapper from Telford. He organises the Shropshire Music Awards, and he just did the Wrekin rapping, freestyling the whole way up.
What?
I struggled to breathe walking up the Wrekin, and he freestyled all the way up, rapping at a microphone, rapping the whole time.
I need to get my son on an event with him. He loves rap. He's always rapping in his room. What's his name?
Trademark Blood.
Trademark Blood.
Trademark Blood. I'll send you his deets.
Do, yeah.
Yeah, he's a really cool guy. Shout out to you, Trademark. He's good because he's an inspirational force for Shropshire musicians. With the Shropshire Music Awards, obviously, it's someone's drive tours. We didn't do anything with the Shropshire Music Awards this year because I was kind of picking my life up for the last year, starting a new job and bettering myself. Now we're like a freight train with this podcast at the moment. And by the way, thank you. I don't know what's happening, but we've had a massive influx of listeners. I don't know I know exactly where you guys come from. I got a map that tells me where you're listening. But thank you so much for everybody that's just suddenly switched on to the Shrewsbury Biscuit and Biscuit Behind the Boom as well. It's always nice when you achieve something, isn't it?
Absolutely. You're smashing it.
It's really good. What are you going to strive towards with this? Is there something that what's the goal here? Because I know you've got your business now and you're doing this. What's the big achievement for you? What would make you go, done it, completed it?
I think the goal for me now is to go full time. So to be able to hand in my notice, as much as I love my day job and making a difference to children and families in the Shropshire area. Handing my notice in and doing my Ray of Sun Adventures business full time. That would be, it would be the start of a new adventure, but it would be the goal that I've been striving towards the past 5 years.
And what do you need to get there? Just a full calendar?
Yeah, I'm working on that at the minute. I'm really trying to fill the calendar for next year so that people have lots of stuff to choose from. But yeah, I need to, get my name out there. I don't think that, I'm a very small business that hasn't been going very long. Yeah. So stuff like this really helps. Brand awareness, making people aware of what it is that I do and what I offer, selling out events. Some things sell themselves, like my sunset hikes, don't have to push that at all. Other things like the weekenders, which I've started to do, take a little bit more pushing. And I've just got loads next year. Weekenders, trips abroad, bigger adventures in the UK, like the West Highland Way and the Anglesey Coastal Path. If I sold everything out next year, I could hand in my notice.
That'd be good. I want that for you. I really do want that for you. I think we've got to do this podcast idea. Obviously, it's maybe the wrong time of year for it, but I think maybe spring. I think we definitely need to keep in touch.
Okay.
I definitely want to plan this, because if we could do like a podcast on 3 different people, I don't know how we could do this, but like I think we could definitely create a peak series of the Shrewsbury Biscuit.
Let's do like...
You can be my co-host and we can take somebody up with us.
Yeah. We could do a hill and a pub walk. They're always popular.
Oh my God, we've got so many ideas coming now. So if there are anybody listening to this that really want to come on as guests at Shrewsbury Biscuit and they want to walk up a hill with us...
and end at the pub.
What's the reward of coming on the Shrewsbury Biscuit? Well, you get to walk for 4 or 5 hours to the top and then talk to me.
We'll do the talking when you've got your breath back.
Yeah. And, to be fair though, I could sit at the top of the Wrekin or Rodney's Pillar or Holman Hill, wherever. Like, in fact, I'll share this with you. It's a bit intimate, but I'll share it with you guys. When I do my EMDR, they take you to a place where you can feel calm, and they make you close your eyes and make you think of this place. And there's this one day where we walked up Holman Hill for a picnic, and we walked up Holman Hill, and there's like a broken castle, there's like ruins at the top there where you can sit. And that day and that feeling of seeing Shrewsbury underneath us and having just done that walk is my place of serenity.
Oh wow.
So I actually sit there with microphones and just make stuff that I'm passionate about very easily. Actually,
do it. Yeah,
we're going to do it. I think so. What would people expect from you if they now got in touch with you and asked if they could do a walk with you? What would they?
So I run a free walk every month. So my walks, the free monthly walks, are beginner friendly, and it's just an opportunity for people to meet me, see if they like the vibe of the group, get an idea of the kind of stuff that I offer. And also because I never want money to be a barrier for anyone to come on a walk.
Yeah, that's a good point.
So a lot of my stuff, other than the free stuff, it is paid. I try and keep it as reasonable as possible, but some people just can't afford it. So I always want to offer the opportunity for anyone to come. And if anyone is ever struggling financially and wants to do a bigger adventure, then they just need to speak to me and I would sort them out. Oh,
bless you. That's really nice of you. I think sometimes you just need to be with the right person that can motivate you in the right way. And that's where, I've spoken to life coaches that offer different things. Some people are the nicey, you've got this, girl, you can do it. Some are the shout, you got this in your dickhead. Look, that's the kind of thing you've got. Some people need that different kind of approach to things. Yeah, you might need a drill sergeant behind you going, get to the top now. But just a nice, friendly person going, come on, man, we can go for a Big Mac after this.
Yeah. That's definitely, I'm not the drill sergeant. That is not me at all. But I think that what the group hikes, what's so special about those is that you get so busy chatting to people, you don't even realise you're walking. And by the time you've got to the top, you're like, oh, already? So the group adventures are brilliant for that. But I do also do one-to-ones. So if anyone wants to work on particular skills, I've done mentoring for people training towards their hill and moorland assessment or their mountain leader assessment. If anyone's got a particular adventure they want to do, I recently did the 3 Clee Hills with a lady who wanted to do some navigation stuff and just conquer a bit of land that she'd previously been a bit afraid of.
Oh, that's a nice feeling.
Yeah.
That liberation.
Yeah.
It's a good feeling. We were talking. I was talking to my colleagues earlier about abseiling. You know, when you lean over the rock.
Trust.
The trust, yeah. That's a weird feeling. I used to do a lot of rock climbing. But I'm terrified of heights.
Oh, okay.
I'm genuinely terrified of heights. Like I always remember the first time I went on a fairground when I was in Ireland with my dad. And you know those things that are on a long thing and they have a carriage on the end and they go upside down and they go round and round.
Oh my God, yeah.
I went on one of them when I was about 13 and I was a proper skinny, scrawny little guy. And I think I was a bit too sort of small for the ride. And I felt like I was coming through the bars and I was panicking and I was upside down going, oh my God. And from that moment, I don't like rides. I don't like heights.
Yeah.
But we used to do it a lot. I used to do rock climbing an awful lot. So I need to do it. A bit of a pudding. But bouldering's really good for weight losing, weight loss.
Yeah. Have you been to the climbing hut in Shrewsbury? That's really good.
Timmy loves it.
Yeah.
He likes to do the skyscrapers.
Yeah. God, that's terrifying. Have you done it?
No, because I always feel like the ropes are going to break with me. But I lose a few pounds, and there is a plan in place. In fact, our next guest is going to help me build a plan to get fit, which is good.
Cool.
This podcast is great, man. It's a great tool for like fixing my life. I don't care about your listeners. It's all about fixing Alex's life.
Come out on some walks too. That's great for.
Yes, I'd love to. How would I book one? Was it just via Instagram? Have you got a website? What?
Yeah. Come to the website www.ravesunadventures.com. I think. Yeah, it is .com, not .co.uk. But yeah, you can find me on Instagram too. It's @rayofsun_adventures.
I'll put a link in the readout for this podcast. You click the link, you go to the website, and you have all the information that you need.
Amazing.
Janire, you've been an amazing guest. Thank you so much for that. I mean, what I love about this is that for the first 5 minutes, we were kind of like, hey, how's it going? And then within 5 minutes, we're kind of like, yeah, firing on all cylinders. Yeah. This podcast is great for me and great people, and you've been a great guest. So thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you so much for having me.
It's been great. Thank you. You know, all of that talk about nature and earthing and sort of de-stressing and all that sort of stuff. I was just talking about it. It really helped me. As I'm recording this, I recorded that the night before, and I've woken up free and just in such a creative mood. I mean, I have been for the last couple of weeks. I don't know if you noticed. I'm kind of spinning 2 plates at the moment with the 2 podcasts. So I'm in a creative flow as it is anyway, but I've kind of a real spring in my step today. I've been proper like making stuff all day, and I think that is genuinely because I'm thinking about nature and I'm thinking about how well that interview went. I got social anxiety, and so like when somebody comes around my house, there are sort of things going through my head, thinking like, oh, she thinks I'm a weirdo, coming around a stranger's apartment and stuff. Like, I'm a decent guy and I got a nice family and a nice apartment and stuff, but like, social anxiety just leads you to believe some weird stuff. So talking about nature, reminding myself that I'm doing great things at the moment. That's good. So thank you for reminding me about that, Janire. It's really good. And make sure you give that girl a follow. She's doing some incredible stuff right now. I'm on her Instagram, which is lies, absolute lies. I was on the front page of Instagram. Now I'm on it. It's @rayofsun_adventures. Give her a follow. I'll leave the link in the readout too. I want to spend a minute talking about you guys about something really dangerous, right? Because I'm coming up with the idea, right? So, Shrewsbury Arc struggling at the moment. It's very sad what's going on. Really is genuinely sad, and they're struggling to keep the doors open for the winter. And I've been thinking of ideas for a fundraiser, and I want to include you guys. I've been throwing some silly stuff on Facebook, thinking of like scenarios I can put myself in that will encourage you guys to maybe chuck a few quid my way to help raise money for the Ark. In the past, I've done 24-hour live podcasts, which are great. I mean, that's good. I can stay awake for 24 hours and do a live podcast like I used to do with Pod Aid. We could even call it Pod Aid and just use as the Ark, and help them. Whatever, right? Whatever we want to do. But I need ideas. What can we do? I've been thinking of like my wildest idea was to get a crane and like hoist like a desk studio with all my equipment and a chair and a crane for a few hours and do some live interviews, like make a big thing of it and raise some money. But then I was thinking, I wrote a thing out on Facebook and asking people advice and what they thought, and they'd be like, oh, insurance alone will cost probably more than what you'd raise. So I need to get my head out in the clouds and come up with some real ideas. And genuinely, like, if you have a place I can come and do a podcast that's really creepy, like let's think of the most haunted place in Shropshire right now. It's probably leaning at the prison, to be honest. The most haunted house where they are, and I just sit there by myself. I can have an internet link, a light, a camera, and just bring on some live guests. See if I survive the night. I think that's great, isn't it? It's like the making of a horror movie. Maybe we can do something like that. Maybe we'll speak to Joe at the prison, see if we can use a cell. Oh my God, I'm coming up with ideas as I think about it. Lock me in a cell overnight. Give me some Wi-Fi and a camera and a light. And I don't know, say we do it from 9 o'clock at night until 9 o'clock in the morning, 12 guests. Look what we just did together, guys. We just conceived a great idea, and then we can raise money for the Ark. I don't know if there's going to be a misconception though about I don't know, like doing it from a prison. I don't want to be like the link of prison with rough sleepers, because that wouldn't be the intention at all. I don't know. Like we can let's get together, guys. Let's have a few drinks, and we'll create a brain map and whatever. Yeah, I don't know. I want to help the Ark in the best way I can, and with the only thing I got, and that's my gob. Thank you so much for listening to this episode. It's been really, really good. If this is your first time listening to the Shrewsbury Biscuit, maybe you've not heard of the show before, please give us a follow on social media. We're on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. You can find everything you need to know about me and the show from the website, which is the shrewsburybiscuitpodcast.co.uk, and that's lovingly made by our friends for us, Web Orchard. They are amazing. If you need a website for whatever it is you do in life, they'll make the perfect website for you. Right, I'm going to get out of here. I've been talking for 5 minutes after a podcast. It's crazy. You guys are awesome. Thank you for tuning in every week. I love you guys. And I'll catch you guys at the next one. Peace out.